Right, so today we're hanging out with John. Well, John happened to be one gentleman who's actually worked with the Black Avenue family. He was once a personal assistant to D Black, who happens to be the CEO. And then Livewire Events, they actually handled Stone Boy's event last year in December, and it was massive. Today, John says that, okay, well, I've done so much for the industry, and so I'm moving into something else, which happens to be in politics. Aside that, he's also written a book, and he wants to share that beautiful story and journey to where he is now. I'm sure it would inspire some of you, especially the youth out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John, and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, so John, I mean, this journey so far, yes, I know you were with Black Avenue Music, but first of all, just tell us, what were you doing exactly with D Black and his team?
All right, thank you very much, Doreen, for having me here. And I started working with D Black in 2015. I was still in school by then. I was in my level 300 in school. And then, I hit him up that I wanted to intern with him. So I started off working with him and then became his personal assistant for a while. And gradually I grew up to become a manager on the label. Okay. So I was in charge of some of the artists on the label, as well as creating ideas and other stuff for his other companies like Livewire Events and the club business as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so you did that till when?
Okay, so I did that till this year, January actually. I resigned this year, January.
Wow. Yeah. Why did you resign? I mean, somebody would say that it's going so well, and I've actually even heard people commending D Black and his team for their good work.
Yeah,
so
D Black is a really kind person, and he's very inspirational as well. He's taught me a lot of things, but I need to evolve. I'm growing up, and I felt like my purpose in life is to be a leader. I've always dreamt of being in leadership positions, so I thought I should take a step to achieve my dreams, and then that's why I ventured into politics as well. Okay. So yeah, there's no bad blood, we're still family, but I just felt like I had to move on with my life and do some other things.
Wow, but I mean, moving on, why didn't you probably come up with your own record label? Why didn't you do something else but politics? And how long have you been in it?
Okay, so I've been in politics since I was very little, because I've been very enthusiastic about politics, and I was involved in the 2012 and 2016 elections. But opening a record label, I don't think that's what I want to do, because I don't believe you leave a company that is doing something and then you decide to also go and set up the same company to maybe compete with them. It's not reasonable. Like, there's no loyalty in there, and that's why, even though I'm not part with Black Avenue Music anymore, I don't have any intentions to open my own. Right,
so I mean, as you said, I mean, it wasn't okay to just leave a record label and go and set one aside, to do
exactly.
your own thing. So now that you're into politics, what exactly are you doing in there?
Okay, so I'm aspiring to be the member of parliament for my constituency, which is Akan constituency in the OT region. Okay. And so we are going for primaries. I'm standing on the NDC ticket, so we are going for primaries first, and then I'll be contesting in the 2020 elections.
Wow, that's so so near. Like, we're in 2019 already in April, and so next year,
exactly.
Like, we should all be looking out for you right there. How has the journey been so far? I mean, I know sometimes it's not easy, especially doing politics and, trying to be an MP and all of that. How has the journey been?
Yeah, I mean, it's not been easy, because my age, for instance, also people think young people shouldn't be aspiring for certain positions like that, and the mantra has always been old folks in there, but I feel like we need to make a change, because the youth, we are the future leaders, and if you are going to really make any change, we need to start now. And so I'm very, very enthusiastic and determined to make a positive impact.
I also understand you've actually put a book together. Does it have to do with your journey, maybe probably from school down to where you have reached, like what you're doing, politics and all of that? Does the book entail that?
Not at all. So the book, it's a personal story, but it doesn't have to do much with my life from school and all that. It's personally about marijuana abuse. Yeah, so I was involved with marijuana for a while. I mean, for about 6 years.
You don't look it. Usually those who smoke, they there are things that actually
sell them out.
Yes, sell them out. Maybe black lips, red eyes.
Yeah,
Wow.
I would say I was a gentle smoker because I knew my purpose. But yeah, so I've been smoking for like 6 years, and I realized it wasn't the best for me because it wasn't allowing me to be the best version of myself, and so I decided to quit. And after quitting, I realized I could inspire other people to do the same because I have a lot of friends who smoke, and it's becoming very popular. Even young kids in secondary schools, 13, 14 years, they're all smoking. And so I felt my story would inspire them.
What do you have to say to this perception? I mean, sometimes people say that we always think marijuana in a negative way, but some also say that it has the positive aspect. Whereas, for instance, if you're somebody who is very smart, when you take marijuana, it makes you smarter. If you're somebody who is violent, then it makes you more violent. Like, it depends on the kind of personality you are. So taking marijuana actually brings out something best in you. So,
you know, funny enough, I've actually said the same things before when I was smoking, and I've actually defended when people try to speak against marijuana. I actually say the same thing, that marijuana only brings the best out of you. But you know, even though marijuana has positive sides, everything has positive and negatives, and I think marijuana's negative effects are far advanced than the positive effects on our brain and our well-being. So yeah, it's not something you need to get involved with to the extent of even abusing it. Yeah.
And then people say that once it's something you start, it's quite difficult to actually stop or quit.
Yeah, that's the perception, and it's true because when you start smoking at first, you realize it sparks a new creativity in your mind. It sparks a new, you know, dimension in the way you think and the way you do things. And so you get addicted to it quite easily because maybe things you don't get inspired to do before, when you start smoking, you start getting inspired to do them. But as time goes on, the negative effects start drawing in. Like, it has effects on your short-term memory, so you're always forgetting stuff. It makes you very lazy sometimes and procrastinate. It brings about a lot of paranoia, so you're always fearing and always scared about certain things you shouldn't be afraid of. So like, once these negative effects start coming in, you can do away with them, and funny enough, you have to smoke to even bring it down, but at the same time, it just affects you here. So I mean, marijuana is not really the best for us.
Now people are calling for the legalization of it here in Ghana. If it's not good, I mean,
yeah,
what do you have to say to that?
Me personally, I don't even have a problem with legalizing marijuana, but Ghana is not ready to legalize marijuana now because marijuana has a lot of medical benefits and even industrial benefits. You could use marijuana for hair products, even clothing, and I mean, it's the possibilities are endless. But in Ghana, we are not at the point where we can actually use marijuana for beneficial purposes because this is a country where we are still importing toothpicks and matchsticks. When you legalize marijuana, who is going to actually process them into making something beneficial? And with the medical aspect as well, I don't see any innovation around that can use marijuana effectively to cure any diseases. So when Ghana legalize marijuana right now, it's just going to be for mere smoking purposes, and the youth is not ready for that.
It's not ready for that. Yeah. Right, so your book, is it ready? When are you launching it? When are you bringing it out officially?
Yeah, so the book will be out on my birthday, which is Friday, 26th of April. Okay. And I'm launching it at an event in East Legon. Okay. After that, it's going to be available in bookstores across the nation, and it's also available on Amazon.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the title of the book again?
Breaking Up with Mary Jane.
Why Mary Jane? I mean, is it?
Well, so Mary Jane is a code name for marijuana, actually. But it's Mary Jane because I wrote the book to sound like it was a girl. So Breaking Up with Mary Jane, if you read the book, you think I was with a girl that I fell in love with and then later broke up with her. But if you're a smoker and you read it, you'll be able to directly relate because there is facts in there.
Wow. Right, guys, you heard it all from John, and the book is basically, I mean, something you need to grab and get to know more about it. But he's a young man who has big dreams, and that's what he's following. So perhaps you would like to follow him up on social media. How can we get you on social media?
My social media handles are I am John Hermit. I am John Hermit. It's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Yeah.
All right. So get in touch with him, ask him all the questions you need to ask. I just came to ask him all the questions I wanted to ask, and it's been pretty interesting and fun talking to John. Let's go support a brother, and let's look forward to next year, because it looks like young people are ready to take the nation by storm. Any last words before we wrap up?
Okay, so I would like to encourage the youth out there, especially to endeavor to challenge the status quo. We need to make impacts in our communities, because the youth is the future, and life is really very short, so you don't have to take chances. You need to make a move, and you have to make that move now.
Right, you need to make that move, and this is where we wrap it all up. Remember, go grab the book, read it, and get to know. You never know, you might have a friend, a brother, or a relative who is probably addicted to marijuana or something, and then there could be an advice or, you know, something about the book. My name is Doreen Avio, and thanks for watching.
I want Ghanaians or the new generation to be proud of their sound, of the Ghanaian sound. And Ochiami Kwame has set the pace. We're going to follow. But 8 Elements has other sounds as well from other parts of Africa. So I want to reach out to the rest of Africa to be proud of where we're from. Because as black people and as a black race, we have so much that we haven't exploited yet. And this is what I have on the album. I have sounds from Mali. I have sounds from some of the countries from West Africa, Senegal. I have countries, I pick sounds from everywhere. And I have a few amazing features. Few features, but amazing features. Yeah.
Okay, when are you releasing it?
It's in July.
July?
Yeah.
So July, watch out for the 8 Elements by Drake.
Initially, like when I started in Ghana, it was strange. People didn't understand what I was all about. Who is this guy? A lot of people thought I was from Cote d'Ivoire, even Ghanaians, because they didn't know the Sisala tribe existed. But gradually, people have warmed up to me. But the very first time I got out, they didn't care where I came from. They just loved me, and the gigs just started coming. So Ghana, in a way, has been slow accepting the kind of music I'm doing, but they are coming on, they are warming up to me big time. And maybe it's just because international market has accepted me, which is not what we should be doing. You have to accept your own, appreciate them before they go out there. If not, when we go and we appreciate it, Charlie, we won't come back home. Because Charlie, you can't be killing yourself for your own people, and they are not minding you. It gets to a point where you go like, what the hell? If you don't care, I don't care too. It's just human nature, but we have to understand that people need time to get used to. That's what I've learned about the industry in Ghana and the attitude in Ghana. People need time to get used to something new, because everybody's used to the kwanku music and the kwakpakpa.